So Fiona Geminder, probably known to many of you in terms of her name, not only an ANZ customer, which is pretty important, but actually the co-owner of Visy, one of the world's largest privately owned packaging and recycling groups. You know, Visy employs more than 7,000 people, operates in more than 120 plants and factories throughout Australasia. Now, Fiona is a member of the Visy family board, the Pratt family board, and their executive committee. And she's actually actively involved in the daily business, dealing with customers, the factories, governance, strategic planning for innovation, just to name a few areas. Now, I know that Fiona has a particular interest in sustainability, which is very important to us, and of course, gender balance, which is also important to ANZ. And she plays a leadership role across those issues across the entire Visy organisation.
Well, basically, Visy started in 1948 by my grandfather, Leon Pratt. He came as a migrant from Poland, and he, his wife and his brother-in-law and sister-in-law went to Shepparton, and they bought an orchard and they became orchardists. And so they used to pick fruit in their suits and they'd put the fruit in wooden boxes. And my grandfather had the brilliant idea. He thought they're really heavy, so we should start a cardboard box factory. And so what happened was he decided to move to Melbourne and he bought a little shop, or he wanted to buy a little cardboard box shop, and he went to many people for investment. And what happened was nobody gave him money, and he was looking for £1,000. And he ended up going to his sister-in-law and he said to her, "Will you give me the money?" And they agreed that she'd give him £1,000 on the condition that they would name the business after her. And her name was Ida Visboard. So there was the birth of Visy Board, which was it was quite sweet. Yes. And what happened was my grandfather was on his deathbed in about 1969, and my father was 34 at the time, and he said to my father, "Look, you know, you're a bit of an idiot. This won't the business won't succeed." And like he was always worried about the debt, and he didn't want to expand the business. So he died in 1969, and I think the next week my father expanded into Sydney, Brisbane, Queensland, and the rest is history.
You do have that family culture with your suppliers and your customers. You have this very closeness with them, the various people. Again, is that just part of the culture of the firm?
Yeah, we have a very strong, as I said, family culture, but also we have a strong ethic in our business where we try to hire the best people for the job and then get out of the way and let them do their job. So as my mother always used to say to me, "You don't tell Picasso how to paint." So effectively, you basically get them to do their job. I term myself the annoying mother-in-law or auntie that I influence, but I don't mandate, as in it's really up to people to make their own decisions as how they should move forward.
So thanks, Fiona. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.